Good evening and welcome in to Ursprung Gymnasium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Cole McDaniel alongside Dominic Clary here as we're bringing you the end of OAC regular season action in women's basketball and a matchup here between your Yellow Jackets and the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Dom, good to be with you. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm excited to see what Baldwin Wallace does today. As well with Ohio Northern, they've been a pretty good team so far. They're better than their record shows, and Baldwin Wallace has been hot. Can't wait to see what happens once tip-off happens.
Absolutely. Again, the Yellow Jackets coming in with a very strong record this season, currently standing at 7-3 overall. They've really been strong at home, 4-1, only one loss here at home. Again, that was to John Carroll. John Carroll, they have been the #1 seed. Of course, right now, they're going to be in a battle themselves against the Otterbein Cardinals, so that is something that is coming up there in the OAC. But for the Yellow Jackets, they've had a strong performance this year, and they're hoping to get it done here against the Polar Bears, who are coming in with a record of 4-6. And we know they are a team capable of upsets. Just a couple weeks ago, you and I were sitting in these very seats, and we know exactly what happened. We were talking about it. Ohio Northern was upsetting John Carroll, and that was a big game as well. So a team that could take down the Yellow Jackets if they come out and perform well.
I mean, they're an interesting team, Ohio Northern. They've split every series except two. They beat Heidelberg, they swept them, and they got swept by Capital, who we saw Baldwin Wallace beat handedly. So, they're a team that can upset anybody, but they can also get upset as well. When you look at the scores, everyone's pretty even. You have one player who averages more than 20 minutes a game. Everyone else after that, it's pretty even. 14, 15, 60 minutes, and it reflects on the score sheet as well. So this Ohio Northern team is deep, but they also only have one person that really carries them in minutes. It's going to be a very interesting game.
Well, in the OAC tournament, we mentioned it. It is looming. It is coming up next week. Again, both of these two teams looking to really put a good weekend together to get prepared for the tournament here. Now on the floor for Ohio Northern, they are in their black uniforms with the orange numerals. For the Yellow Jackets, though, they are on the floor in their pink uniforms. We'll talk about why they are wearing pink here in just a moment, but first we will discuss who starts on the floor for both of these teams. Starting off with the visitors, number 10, Emily Brock, number 13, Jaden Hale, number 20, Lexi Jacobs, number 23, Kate Iliff, and number 25, Alyssa Staller. For the Yellow Jackets on the floor, number 11, Gabby Garrett, the lone senior on the team, again getting the start here in her final regular season game here, and she's had a great season and a nice career with the Yellow Jackets as well. And Lily Edwards, number 32, puts it up and in for the first points of the game. Also on the floor with Garrett and Edwards. Number 20, Sydney Snyder. Number 22, Izzy Andrews. And number 35, Megan Scheibelhut. And that's how we start this game. Ohio Northern with their first offensive possession. Again, on the other side of the floor, it was Megan Scheibelhut getting that offensive rebound, again, keeping it alive for the Yellow Jackets. And right there, a jump ball, and it will stay with Ohio Northern. So, while the Yellow Jackets are wearing the all-pink here tonight, it is the women's basketball team with the pink uniforms in support of the Play 4K game. So each year, BW takes part in a Play 4K game in conjunction with the K Yao Cancer Fund. So Coach Kay Yao was passionate about uniting the nation of coaches, players, and the women's basketball community to do something for the greater good that far exceeds wins and losses on the court. The Play for K campaign was born in 2007 and continues to grow as it raises funds to support women's cancer research. So to date, the fund has allocated more than $5 million towards this goal. Okay, so if you would like to help the women's basketball team in raising funds, please go to the following website and make a donation. That's https and then the slashes support.kyao.com/team/343769. Again, that is, I'll give you the numbers again there, 343769. I know the women's basketball team, they would appreciate your support there. Another great cause for them once again. So the Yellow Jackets here on the offensive side of the floor. The inbound to Gabby Garrett on the far side. Down on the low block to Edwards, and Edwards gets called with the travel there.
You know, she may have been called with the travel there, but it was good on her knowing that baseline closed down. She tried going inside, but not before she traveled on that play.
So just 2-0 right now, a lead for the Yellow Jackets. 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. The pull-up and the first bucket of the game for Lexi Jacobs. Jacobs, the 5'7" junior guard out of Wapakoneta. Here's Snyder from the corner, and she knocks that down. Nice three there. Snyder's first points of the game.
She can be very deadly from three. They're going to be looking to start her up early.
Absolutely. The kick out. Nice save, keeping that from going out of bounds. Here on the near side, swing the ball around. Jacobs for three off of the back of the rim. No good. A nice board there by Edwards. And for being a post player, she can streak down the floor in transition. And she finds Snyder. Out to Andrews. 20 on the shot clock. Andrews the kick out to Snyder. Scheibelhut in the corner. Just shorted, a nice offensive rebound there by Edwards. And there's going to be a reach-in foul, and that will be another foul there against Ohio Northern. Their team's second foul here to start this one.
You know, Scheibelhut might not be a three-point shooter, but she can hit from three. You know, she is uncovered at that, especially in that corner. She can hit the three. She gives them a great ability to spread out the court.
Well, it's something she really wasn't asked to do last year. She was just asked to go in there, win the tip, get some boards, get it to all those seniors that were solid three-point shooters. She's really expanded her game offensively and has been able to knock down some threes this year. So that is one thing that has made it dangerous with Scheibelhut. I mean, she has this season put up 26 threes. She's made 6 of them. But that's something where she's really expanded, and you're spot on with that. Shot there, no good for Ohio Northern. Rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Again, those quick substitutions, getting the fresh legs in there. Working it down to Edwards on the low block. 8 on the shot clock. Time to go to work offensively, and she does in a nice move. And the finish with the strong right hand.
Lily Edwards posting and toasting on that on the block there. Hits with the spin move. Hits on that corner block there for the nice little post move.
7-2 lead for the Yellow Jackets. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Serbin picks up her dribble. Tries to find the pass on the low block. That one got tipped. And 2 Polar Bears getting in each other's way, not able to collect that one, and it's out. And the Yellow Jackets will make several substitutions before they come to length of the floor.
Common theme for Baldwin Wallace, suffocating on defense.
Absolutely. And there's several things that we know Coach Sherry Hare in her 31st season. She runs a great program. She's got a great coaching staff, always has some great players coming into this program. A lot of young players here on the floor right now, but regardless, they get their hands up, they play tough defense. The other thing too, she will get their legs fresh and give them a breather, because she will sub them in and out. And it's also good for the development of freshmen like number 33, Kira Philpott, who knocks down that mid-range jumper.
I mean, you look at this bench, and it's scary because the sophomores and freshmen for the most part, and you see that a lot of the starters are juniors. They're going to have a really good mesh next year. And if you're a Baldwin Wallace fan, you have to be super excited to see that, because this bench has been phenomenal for them.
Absolutely. And as the high school basketball tournament is continuing, again, Coach Sherry Hare, her staff, they really have added some nice talent here. I've covered some of those ladies who are coming into the program next year and will be freshmen, and they're just reloading. And that's the thing, is they've got some talented people coming in will be freshmen next year. Gabby Garrett's the only senior here on this roster. There's going to be a lot of young talent really added to this already young and talented group, which is fantastic.
I mean, a lot of young guards too. So you could even think they might have a rotation like they had last year at the guard position. How deadly that was. Baldwin Wallace, they hope to have that again.
And speaking of young talent and having some depth, and Ohio Northern, you look at their roster here right now, you see a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores as well. I mean, it's just a group that is still young, and they've got some potential to be dangerous here in the next couple years themselves. This year, the record doesn't do them justice at 4-6, but we know they have the ability.
I mean, they're a very tough team.
Absolutely.
I mean, they are deep. Again, like I said, with their minutes, a lot of players get a lot of minutes with this Ohio Northern team. One player I do want to point out is Sydney Ward, who averages 9 points, which doesn't seem a lot. But when you look at the rest of their team, 9, 7, 6, and then 4 players with 5 points, this is a very deep team. And, she's at top. She's the start at that. So they're going to look to her to be a leader and to be the person they rely on.
Snyder's 3 off of the back of the rim, no good. A quick 3 on the other side for Palasek. Could not get that one to fall. 9-5 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. A little over halfway through the first quarter here. Again, these two teams will be facing off at Ohio Northern tomorrow. Six on the shot clock. Philpott, the dish down. A dangerous pass there, and that one's stolen. Here come the Polar Bears in transition. Palasek driving, scoops it with the right hand and gets fouled. And she is another talent here from around this local area, the junior from Wadsworth. And that is one thing that I have to say. You've got some of the schools here in this conference, say Columbus, anybody who's down south, they get some talent from up here. But Ohio Northern really comes into the Cleveland area, and they do a pretty good job of recruiting as well with their sports teams. Of course, you have John Carroll, BW here, Mount Union, but Ohio Northern always seems to have a lot of Northeast Ohio talent as well on any of their sports teams.
I mean, they have a lot of people from all over Ohio, not even just here.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have people from different states. They have some players from Pittsburgh, Mount Vernon. I mean, players are from everywhere, whether it's all over the state or, different parts of the country.
Absolutely. Lily Edwards, the jumper off of the side of the rim, and no good. She gets her own board, and that is something she can do. She's got that aggressiveness, getting after her own misses, and don't let her have that offensive rebound because she'll likely put it back up and in. A nice take there. 11-7.
I mean, she averages a double-double with about 19 points, 10 rebounds. And a lot of those are from offensive boards that she gets from following up the shot.
Dish down, little wild shot off of the top of the backboard there for Kate Iliff. Here come the Yellow Jackets the other way. Snyder, middle of the floor, over to Garrett. Garrett driving, nice bounce pass to a wide open Edwards. Just couldn't get that one to go. Rebound there for Alyssa Staller. The back down there by Iliff. A tough shot, and she gets it to go. Cutting into that deficit. Yellow Jackets just up 2 now, 11-9. Snyder feeding Edwards again. And that right there gets that to go. Tried to slip between 2 defenders. It looks like she got a little displaced there, and the feet might have slid a little bit. The officials could have missed a call there, but a nice, tough, strong finish by Edwards, and she's got a quick 8 points.
I mean, if you saw the reaction on Ohio Northern, you know what they thought on that play.
We absolutely do. A minute and a half left, and we haven't had a timeout yet. This has been a quick running quarter, that's for sure.
Yeah, Baldwin Wallace is really pushing the tempo. I feel like I say this every week, but they're really pushing the ball up the tempo. As soon as Ohio Northern scores, it seems like the ball's back at half court. They're not giving Ohio Northern a chance to breathe.
Several substitutions for both teams. Andrews going to take the inbound. Nice cut there. And one for Sydney Snyder. Nice strength there to fight through the contact, get it to go. She'll step to the free throw line where she has, had an okay season there in the sense of she really has been a three-point shooter. She hasn't really gotten to the line. She's only 2 for 4, only 4 attempts. That is really it this season for Sydney Snyder, so a chance here to get the free throws.
I kind of had a double check there. I mean, late in the season, I wasn't expecting to see.
It is hard to
2
believe.
and 4.
Yeah, she's a good shooter. You'd expect her to be able to get to the free throw line more, but I mean it's really been.
I mean, but her place has been outside the arc.
Exactly.
I mean, they have multiple players who can go down low. That's not necessarily her forte.
No, it's usually Gabby Garrett at the free throw line, your Lily Edwards, some of those players, but.
Tribal Hut.
Yep, exactly. The deflection there, and that one going to be last off of the Yellow Jackets, and it will remain with the Polar Bears. Get several substitutions. Reagan Schill comes in, as well as Kira Philpott. Down to 50 seconds on the game clock. 15-9 is your score at the moment. Here's the inbound, and the shot clock violation is there's only 1 second on the shot clock. Not much you can do there. Good defense there by the Yellow Jackets. Bad pass there is a little miscommunication there between Andrews and the freshman forward, Kayla Paul, out of Bellbrook. Turnover going back the other way for the Polar Bears.
Kyla Paul only gets about 7 minutes a game. They're getting her in early. It seems like they have almost different rotations every game to get the young players more acclimated to the long season.
The foul there on the Yellow Jackets. That's just the second team foul so far on the Yellow Jackets. Substitution is Emily Lyon, the junior guard out of Medina, went to Highland High School, checks in, and Garrett takes a seat on the bench. Serbin to the middle of the floor to Brock, back to Serbin. Serbin, the 5'5" sophomore guard out of North Allegheny High School in Pittsburgh. She's really been the dominant ball handler here for the Polar Bears. A lot of the offense has run through her, feeding her teammates.
Yeah, she just got called for a 5-second call there. She just didn't dribble. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe looking to drain the clock down a little bit.
8 seconds on the clock now, and Yellow Jackets going to get the final shot here of the quarter. Schill driving, got to get one up, and that one's going to be short. And Lyon, a good follow, just not able to get it to go.
Fantastic effort.
Exactly, absolutely. Well, that will wrap it up here for the first quarter at Ursprung Gymnasium. Your score 15-9 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on bwyellowjackets.com. And we're back here on bwyellowjackets.com. Again, Cole McDaniel, Dominic Clary here. And just a reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, the healthcare provider for BW Athletics. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company, and the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. We're back in action here in the second quarter. Yellow Jackets with a 15-9 lead over the Polar Bears. Polar Bears with the first attack offensively, and Palasek not able to get it to go. Here come the Yellow Jackets in the hands of Shell, picks up her dribble. Andrews. La Liberté. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Edwards. Andrews got to make something happen. Picks up her dribble, needs some help. And a nice steal there. And a foul by Edwards. But good hands by Alyssa Stoller.
You know, Baldwin Wallace, they share the ball a lot. And you know, that's a great thing. But sometimes it seems like they overshare at times. And, you know, they look for a better shot. But sometimes that better shot may not come. And when you look for that, the shot clock comes out, and they've had a few turnovers like that so far.
I guess the fair question is, of course, when Edwards is covered and you can't get the ball to her and the shot clock's winding down, who's going to be the one to take it and go to the hole or make a play happen? And I guess that is fair. You know, it absolutely is a fair point, but there are plenty of talented players on here. It's just a matter of who's got the confidence, who wants to be able to be the one to take it and get it done.
No, I think they all have confidence.
Yep.
I think more the thing is when you get the ball, a defender is, you know, coming at you, closing out, you're thinking someone may have a better shot.
Absolutely.
And that may not come.
Yep, absolutely. And there's only so much time on the clock before it runs down, so only so many passes you can make, absolutely. Well, so far here, a minute into the second quarter, slow offensively for both of these teams. It's either a matter of suffocating defense here at the moment, or just haven't been able to get the shots to fall, but I would say that it would be, in general, the strong defense here. Both of these teams have been getting after it, getting their hands on the ball, staying in front. Have to appreciate the hustle and the effort here, again, in the physical OAC conference. A reminder what's happening here around the conference this evening. Muskingum and Mount Union are facing off. Heidelberg versus Wilmington. Of course, you're paying attention to this matchup here. Capital versus Marietta. And then lastly, mention the big one, Otterbein and John Carroll.
Now, if you're a Baldwin Wallace fan, you're hoping that Otterbein loses. Baldwin Wallace really doesn't have they don't have a shot, I believe, to get the 1 seed because of their 2 losses against John Carroll. At best, they can tie the record with John Carroll, but John Carroll will ultimately win that tiebreaker.
Well, the tricky thing when it comes down to it, it's just it's Baldwin Wallace and Otterbein didn't get to play each other this season, and that's where it'd be tough breaking the tiebreakers. So this year is different than any other year when it comes down to what you can actually do and how it's going to actually work out. So a crazy year, that is 100% sure. Varga got it down to Scheibelhut. You can appreciate the tough physical play of Alyssa Stoller. Again, a little bit undersized going up against Scheibelhut, just a little bit smaller than her, and getting her hands in there and being physical, and got called with a foul there defensively.
I mean, Ohio Northern has not backed down at all so far. I mean, they've played them very tough.
Yep. And there's a foul as Sylvie Sonneman, the 5'10" freshman out of Jamestown, Ohio, went to Greenview High School. And Dom, here's the interesting thing. You know, coming from a small town about an hour west of Columbus, went to a small school, West Liberty Salem High School. You know, not too many athletes you see coming up here from, you know, that area or that I see. Greenview High School, the school that Sonneman went to, was in my conference as well, so very familiar with Greenview. So that's always something that's caught my attention this year with her being from there. So always great to see people coming from not only just the big, more metropolitan areas, but from the smaller towns as well, and making their way up into the college ranks.
A lot of small town athletes don't get a lot of attention.
Absolutely.
From bigger schools. So even at D3, D2 level, you see a lot of athletes from the bigger schools. Hoban, St. Vincent, St. Mary, for example.
Absolutely.
A lot of those schools, they're represented a lot in D3, D2, and D1. So anytime you have, small school athletes come play college basketball, football, soccer, whatever, it's always a great thing. It's great for the sports and all the communities involved.
Absolutely, and part of that has to do with, especially here and, even the last decade. I mean, club athletics have really grown with travel. You obviously travel baseball, softball, your soccer, your basketball with AAU. It's really gotten people on teams with other talented players, and especially with some smaller schools as well, gets them some attention, some looks, and that's always been something that's been growing as well, 100%.
If someone from the small school plays on a big club,
yep.
The right people might be watching.
Absolutely.
And that could be the cause of so many small town athletes playing college sports now.
Right, absolutely. I would agree with you. Well, 7 minutes left to go here in the second quarter, and we still do not have a single point up on the board yet. Still standing at 15-9 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Can somebody break through and finally get a basket here in this quarter? Nice cut there, dish out the feed. Andrews to the lane, a little strong off of the backboard, no good. And a nice strong rebound there by Kristen Luersman. And the Polar Bears, quick shot on the other end, not able to get it to go either. Here at the feed, Edwards off of the front. Again, there's some lids on the basket right now. Neither team able to get to go. 4 minutes played in the second quarter.
It's almost like at the park, you got the double rim. It's almost like they installed the double rims for tonight's game.
Yeah. Here's the three from the middle of the floor off the back of the rim. Looked like it was going to get a friendly bounce, but Annie Weckesser not able to knock that one down. The Yellow Jackets back the other way in transition. Edwards, the offense running through her. A double, some physical play. And Edwards definitely got hacked there. Foul on the Polar Bears. You got to give these officials credit. They've been giving these teams a chance to battle a little bit, be physical. They've been consistent with it. The thing there is, it gets to a point where you got to call the foul, especially when Edwards was right there getting hacked.
As a fan of basketball, sometimes you don't like when the knick-knack fouls are called, and they're certainly, letting the girls play today.
Absolutely.
But they're also not getting away with too much. It seems like they're calling just the right amount of fouls so far. It seems like they're almost all at the same page.
Agreed. Edwards driving the kick out, a wide open Snyder, and off of the back of the rim. No good, and looks like it's going to be a loose ball foul there.
Snyder may have missed that shot, but the way Baldwin Wallace looks inside out. And what I mean by that is that when they have the ball inside, they're not afraid to look opposite. They're not afraid to look to the close corner or close wing. And, not a lot of forwards really have that. And that's a natural ability. That can't be taught. And, Baldwin Wallace, it seems like every player on the court seems to have that ability. And it really helps them space out the floor.
15 foul there on the Polar Bears, and it sends Lily Edwards to the free throw line, and she's able to knock the first one down. So far been just about a 74% free throw shooter on the year. And gets the second one to go as well. So there you have it. The first points there of the second quarter. 17-9, the lead for the Yellow Jackets. Substitution is Emily Lyon checks into the game, as well as Kayla Paul.
So really interesting about this Ohio Northern team is that, they have a 4-6 record, but they have a scoring margin of plus 2.2, which is really rare to see a team that has a negative record outscores their opponents by 2 points.
Jaden Hale, the junior guard out of Lima, went to Lima Bath High School. She gets the first bucket of the second quarter for the Polar Bears, draining that three. Andrews thought about the three. When Edwards touches the ball, the double, even the triple is sometimes coming down. And that's when the three-point shooters need to get prepared for the kick out at the three-point line there.
You know, they're in help defense. So man-to-man help defense. When that ball is on the wing, the two defenders on the far side are going to be in the middle of the paint. That's a perfect opportunity for Edwards to be able to dish that if she's able to. She hasn't been able to because the defense has been so suffocating on her tonight.
On Edwards at the free throw line again, gets that knocked down. The big thing is, though, is as good of a strategy as it is to bring the help defense and the double on Edwards, don't foul her. You know, make her kick it out, get it in the hands of somebody else. Sending her to the free throw line isn't the best thing because she can't knock down the free throws. She's now 4 for 4.
No, fouling wouldn't be an issue if they weren't already in the bonus.
Right. And a foul there against the Yellow Jackets, the third team foul. That one going against Reagan Schill, her first personal foul. So Bryn Serbin steps to the free throw line. This is on the front end there. Coming into this matchup, she was 18 of 26 from the line, shooting about 69%. Gets the second one to go. 19 to 13. Pass intercepted there. Iliff in transition to Brock. Brock kicks it out. Here's the three. And can't get the bank to go. Missed there for Serbin. And a quick foul as Kayla Paul was coming in transition for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, they're getting that three ball off Ohio Northern, but it almost seems like they're rushing it a little bit. Now maybe that shot, you know, the shot was open, defenders were closing in, but you know, they're not really getting their feet set. They're not really, you know, taking the time with their shots. And you know, that might be the issue of reason why they're kind of struggling so far from three-point land.
Paul gets the first one to go. Second attempt off of the back of the rim and no good. And Edwards right there to get the follow, and she gets fouled. Great hustle there. And that foul going to go against number 30, Casey Knippet. Yep, Knippen. She is a freshman guard out of Ottoville. Again, picking up her first foul. Edwards misses that one at the free throw line. Second opportunity coming up. And she gets that one to go. Edwards going to go out, and Scheibel-Hutt checks in. 21 to 13 is your score in favor of the Yellow Jackets. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Again, you're watching and listening on bwyellowjackets.com.
You know, for those that I have an update for the Otterbein and JCU. JCU is currently up 42-23 in the second quarter.
It's a pretty solid lead there in the second, getting the offense rolling. And with the win tonight, John Carroll will clinch the number 1 seed. So it's going to take a big second half for Otterbein. Schill with the three.
You know, they're a good team as well. So if any team could, they're one of the teams in this conference that can do it. But I mean, John Carroll, I mean, they're very solid. I mean, only one hiccup in the loss column against this Ohio Northern team. But you know, they're a very solid team, so they won't be looking to give up that lead.
Yeah, and obviously they have a lot of talent on their team, that is for sure. And there's a miss there and a follow, and Sonneman not able to get to go. There's the drive, the spin to the right hand, has to kick it out. The three and shuffle her feet, got to go, but again, that is going to be a walk there on Casey Knippen.
Ohio Northern, they're having a lot of violations on the offensive side, taking a lot of points off the board for them.
Yeah, and we talked about John Carroll and how good they are, and the Yellow Jackets, a very strong team this year. Of course, they were the ones hosting last year as the #1 seed. John Carroll came in, and the Yellow Jackets were able to get the victory. Would not be surprised to see these two teams facing each other again, just at the location of John Carroll and flipping that this year. But again, one of the most dominant bigs, probably the most dominant big in the OAC, and Olivia Nagy for John Carroll.
I mean, she's definitely going to be up for consideration for OAC Player of the Year. And so will Lily Edwards. There can be a discussion for her as well to be OAC Player of the Year.
Absolutely, a consistent double-double player. Now therefore, Ohio Northern, a nice drive by number 10, Emily Brock, the senior guard out of Akron. Went to Revere High School. She gets that to go, and the and one at the free throw line, an opportunity for the three-point play.
As soon as Baldwin Wallace seems like they're kind of separating themselves, Ohio Northern gets a few points there. They're not capitalizing when they're in this position, and they're going to be looking to do that as we go further into this game.
After that made free throw, 21-16 is your score. 2 minutes left in the second. Snyder dishes it down, tipped away, just out of the reach of Garrett there. Last off of the Polar Bears, and an inbound underneath the basket. The kick out, the three, and that one's good for Sonneman. A big three there for the freshman.
Sonneman, she got a lot of minutes, contributed a lot last week as well.
Brock gets out of that, is able to kick it out. The move, a wild shot there. And the Yellow Jackets quickly coming in transition. Sonneman finds the trailer, Garrett. Edwards cross court to Sonneman. Wide open Sydney Snyder, and that's dangerous. And she knocks it down once again. A big three for the Yellow Jackets.
Ohio Northern's help defense has been good, and it's kept them in this game. But if Sydney Snyder and even Sonneman can get that three-point shot going, Ohio Northern may get separated from this lead.
Yeah, and you also can't forget, I mean, Gabby Garrett is the second leading scorer here. She doesn't have a bucket yet tonight, so if you leave her open at any point, that could spell trouble as well. On the low block, got to give credit to Paul battling down low. Picks up the foul. And that will send number 23, Kate Iliff, the junior forward out of Lorraine, to the free throw line for two. First one no good off of the front of the rim. Still 27-16 score after this free throw. Just a minute left on the clock here in this half. Second one's good. Edwards checks in. And so does Sonneman. Garrett bringing up the floor for the Yellow Jackets. Again, mentioned she is the lone senior on the team, getting to enjoy her last home game here of her senior year. The kick out to the corner, the three off of the back of the rim, no good for Brock. The hustle, a nice save. And bodies crashing and hitting the floor, and going to be a foul against Bryn Serbin.
This is Gabby Garrett's last home game, but senior night activities were held last week, and her parents were here. They got to watch the game, and I can only imagine they're listening right now. And they did they took a picture after. They had flowers and they had the balloons and stuff. It was nice what they were able to do with all the restrictions.
Absolutely.
And the fact they were able to bring her parents in. Was very great, and it was awesome to witness that.
Certainly, yeah, very, very happy that her parents got to be here and enjoy that as well. Again, hope sometime in the near future we'll get to see all the fans once again here in the stands. But again, we got all the cardboard cutouts of many people's faces there. Everybody out there who has donated to the Brown and Gold Club and has done the signs. Again, that is appreciated as well here at Baldwin Wallace.
Well, the signs are great, but they don't make as much noise.
They do not make as much noise, no. 19 seconds left on the game clock. It's a 3-second differential between that and the shot clock. 28-17 to score. The drive, Iliff, short off the side of the rim. She gets her own board, gets it up and in. 5 seconds for the Yellow Jackets to get down the floor. Garrett gonna have to launch. Half-court heave, and that one is left and short, and that will wrap it up here for the first half. So before we go to break, 28-19 is your score. So let's take just a really quick look at what we were seeing here. Dom, I want to ask you, what did the Yellow Jackets do well there in the first half?
Defense, defense, defense. They've been great. They haven't let Ohio Northern get anything, whether it's the three-point range, whether it's inside of the paint and layups. I mean, if Ohio Northern's open, they're collapsing on them. Ohio Northern also has been great on defense, but they have to be careful with their help defense. If they over-help, if they overcommit on inside, as we saw the last few minutes, Baldwin Wallace will hit the three.
This matchup still close at this point. Again, a 9-point differential just going into half, low scoring. What's the key for Ohio Northern to pull off the win here?
Get the offense going, hit the three ball when you have the opportunity. Do not foul. About 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Baldwin Wallace was in the bonus, and they got a good chunk of their points off the line. Do not foul. Hit open three-point shots.
When we come back from half, we will go over the stats, the team leaders as well. But for now, we're going to take a break here on bwyellowjackets.com. Again, the Yellow Jackets, a 28-19 lead over Ohio Northern. Stay tuned, and we'll be back after half. And welcome back to Ursprung Gymnasium in Berea on the campus of Baldwin Wallace. Cole McDaniel alongside Dominic Clary. And Dom, a first half there. Again, we mentioned it before we went to break, low scoring. If you're just tuning in, the score is 28-19. Let's take a look at some of the leaders offensively for both of these two teams. And it's Lily Edwards leading the way offensively, and she's already got a double-double through the first half, 13 points, 10 rebounds. She's been dominant there, but you have to give Ohio Northern credit. They've been really doubling and even tripling her, trying to make life tough. But credit to Edwards, still getting her points. Sydney Snyder, dangerous from three, knocked down 2 3-pointers. She's got 8 here so far through the first half. And Sylvie Sonneman, the freshman, pitching in 4. For Ohio Northern, Kate Iliff with 5, and you have Bryn Serban, Emily Brock, Jaden Hale, Alyssa Staller. They've all got 3, and that's where it stands. As for the team stats, Dom, what stands out to you?
I talked about it before half, 3-point percentage. Baldwin Wallace 3-point field goals, 37%. Not great, but it's good. It's something to build off of. They're 3 for 8, so they haven't taken a lot. Ohio Northern is 20%. They're 2 for 10 from three-point land. They need to improve on that if they want to win this game.
And Garrett has it in the corner, picks up her dribble, finds Snyder. Excuse me, that is Andrews. Andrews to the middle of the floor, back to Garrett. Edwards, no good there. And if you're just tuning in, a reminder, these two teams, they'll play again tomorrow at Ohio Northern. Again, the last regular season games before we hit the OAC tournament next week. And every team here in the conference really preparing for, again, the physicality and how tough it is to get through the OAC tournament. Ohio Northern not able to get their first attempt of the second half to go. Snyder on the near side to Andrews. The skip pass in there, and Andrews got in the way. Looks like that was deflected, and the steal here for Ohio Northern. Iliff. Brock dribbles to the middle of the floor. Hands it off to Jacobs, who Jacobs was the one hoisting the shots, starting the matchup, starting this game. But kind of went quiet for a while offensively. Can't get that first shot to go here for her.
No, Ohio Northern is still running the man-to-man defense with the heavy help defense. With man-to-man defense, there's going to be help. But you can tell that there's a big emphasis on do not let Lily Edwards get anything going in the post.
And here it is, Edwards backing down, finds Scheibelhut. It kicked to Andrews in the corner in front of her bench. Rattles out, can't get to go. And Iliff with the board. 28-19, 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. That one tipped out, will remain with Ohio Northern. A reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University, Buffalo Wild Wings in Medina, Strongsville and Warrensville Heights. Buffalo Wild Wings, the ultimate place to get together with your friends to watch sports and eat wings. And lastly, Barron's Bus, the official charter company of Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket Athletics. And a steal there by Snyder. Nice quick hands, and gets it up to Andrews. Scheibelhut wide open. Edwards physical down low. Good defense there, and Edwards not able to get it to go. The shot, a quick three, and the quick trigger from Jaden Hale pays off. 28-22. Hale now has 6. Garrett on the other end, 4-3 off of the front of the rim, no good. And there's Edwards once again, a nice follow offensively.
She just dominates the boards. It's simple as that. She just gets herself in the right position at the right time to be able to get underneath the cup and bring down the rebound. That
just goes to show you, sometimes it's not as much about height as body positioning. and she's outstanding at it. Here's Iliff, and gets the friendly roll as that one rolled all the way around the rim. And it's now 30-24. Edwards backing down. No good. She follows it up through 3 polar bears, and the one pink shirt comes down with it back up and in for 2.
I mean, if you're a young athlete, this is great teach tape on how to follow your basket. You know, if I were to compare her to any NBA player, it'd be Charles Barkley, because he used to follow the missed shot every time. You know, he wasn't the tallest, neither is Lily Edwards, but always got under the cup, put himself in the right position at the right time.
There's a push on the end line. First team foul there on Ohio Northern here in the third, and we're going to see a ton of substitutions, 4 for each team, completely flipping out that lineup there. Will be Gabby Garrett inbounding from underneath the basket. Finds Emily Lyon. Lyon out to Sonneman. Show on the near side of the floor. Down to Philpott. Philpott working on the block. And bounce pass there. And that one on the line. Turnover for the Yellow Jackets.
That's great baseline defense by Ohio Northern. Using that baseline as your friend, favoring the offensive player there, you know, forcing the ball to go out of bounds.
Nice head fake there. Annie Weckesser gets that to go.
And Ohio Northern looks like a different team on offense right now.
They do, both of these teams. The lid from the second quarter has finally come off of the basket, and these two teams are starting to get it to go.
They've removed the double rim.
They absolutely have. And here's Ohio Northern with another opportunity, and Bryn Serbin knew that one was good as soon as it left her hands.
I mean, this is a different team out on the court right now. They are shooting the ball mid-range from three-point land. Right now, Ohio Northern can do it all.
32-29. Just a 3-point advantage for the Yellow Jackets, needing to get it to go. Reagan Schill not able to do so. Last off of Serbin, though. And it will remain with the Yellow Jackets.
Missed the shot. Saw the ball was coming back. Now Baldwin Wallace, she didn't get the rebound, but now Baldwin Wallace has a second chance. That's just fantastic effort.
Brenda Varga checks in. She'll be inbounding it. And a steal there. Throws it straight into the arms of a polar bear. And way too easy there is Bryn Serbin in transition. And Serbin starting to heat up. Again, mentioned the offense was running through her as she was feeding it and dribbling around the floor. But she's starting to get the baskets to go as she now has 8 points. A timeout. Yellow Jackets trying to stop the bleeding as their lead has dwindled to 1 point, 32-31. Going to keep it here. If you were just tuning in on bwyellowjackets.com, a reminder that the Yellow Jackets are wearing their all-pink uniforms here today for one very great cause. Again, tonight they're wearing the pink uniforms in support of the Play for K game. So each year BW takes part in the Play for K game in conjunction with the K Yao Cancer Fund. Okay, so the Yellow Jacket women's team, okay, they came up with a statement. They wanted that to be read here, so I have the statement by them here. We have raised over $2,000, and we appreciate everyone who has supported this foundation with us. We hope to honor all of the amazing women in our lives who have battled and are battling cancer. And they signed that to BW basketball players. A great thought out quote there from them. And appreciate the effort here and the reason for wearing the pink. And just a reminder, again, they would appreciate if you would be able to contribute to that fund as well. Again, mention the money they have raised, but still looking for some help there. You can go to help raise the funds and make a donation at support.kyao.com and then put /team/343769. Again, the number's there. After /team, it's /343769. So if you can, If you can make a donation to that, again, a great cause these women are doing.
I will say, these girls have done a lot in the community. Megan Scheibelhut and Lily Edwards, I've seen they've all done it. Every single person on a member of this team, but Megan Scheibelhut and Lily Edwards, they have done a good job promoting this. And Lily Edwards has raised money. People have helped her. She's posted about that. She's reached out to a bunch of people. So they've done a fantastic job raising money for this cause.
They absolutely have. And again, the cause is something that is important to them. And there you have it. Ohio Northern has taken a lead now. They've gone on an offensive run, come out guns blazing here in the third quarter, now with a 33-32 advantage. The wild pass finds its way to Snyder. Snyder to Varga. Varga, some room on the end line. A good recovery and long. And there's a strong finish there by Lily Edwards. And that is something that she can definitely do. We have seen it all game. We have seen it all season. She does it once again to the line for an and one opportunity.
I don't even know what her rebounding ability. It's just phenomenal. There are times where all 5 defenders are right there, and she's still getting the rebound. She's just incredible in getting herself in the right spot at the right time.
And she had 19 points, and that makes it 20 right there. Again, continuing to cruise. The Yellow Jackets now back in the lead, 35-33. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. Again, you're watching and listening on bwyellowjackets.com with Cole McDaniel and Dominic Clary. A turnaround with the right hand, no good for Palasek. And Izzy Andrews is coming in transition. Edwards, mid-range jumper off at the front of the rim, no good. If she kicked that out to Gabby Garrett, she had a wide open Garrett for 3. Not a bad shot there from mid-range, just not able to get it. But here's the 3, Molly Palasek. And we're starting to trade punches here at Ursprung.
It's a blow for blow right now.
And there's a foul defensively against the Polar Bears. Third team foul.
It may not seem like a big deal, but I do want to point this out that 7 people have scored for Ohio Northern, while only 5 have scored for Baldwin Wallace. You might think, two-player difference, but it goes 28, 4, 2, and 1 in the score sheet for Baldwin Wallace. While in Ohio Northern, it's 10, 7, 6, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2. Ohio Northern are scoring their players a little bit, sharing the ball, or not sharing the ball, but more players are scoring for Ohio Northern. Because Baldwin Wallace is sharing the ball. It seems like not every player is being able to get the shots to go in right now, other than Lily Edwards.
Speaking of sharing the ball, BW works that ball all the way around the floor. A beautiful bounce pass there by Izzy Andrews, and Sydney Snyder drains that 3. So once again, the Yellow Jackets back in the lead, a 2-point advantage, 38-36.
She just slid right under the basketball, hit her right in the head.
Kira Philpott, the freshman, takes a seat, and Megan Scheibelhut back in. Palasek for 3. She's been getting to go. Misses there. Off of the side of the rim, a scramble for the loose ball on the floor. That going to be a jump ball. Possession to the Yellow Jackets. They'll come the length of the floor.
You wonder if Baldwin Wallace is going to change anything up defensively. Ohio Northern's on a hot streak right now, so they may see if they still go man-to-man and ride it out, or if they make defensive adjustments to throw Ohio Northern off.
And there's a defensive foul once again against the Polar Bears, blocking foul, 4th team foul.
A lot of teams, what they'll do is they'll throw a zone, but not like a 2-3 or a 1-3-1. A zone that's more uncommon, you can only run for a certain amount of times. We might see Baldwin Wallace resort to that. Maybe a box and 1, triangle and 1.
And there's a miss there by Garrett. Couldn't get to go, and a foul there against the Yellow Jackets, the third team foul, and that one against Megan Scheibelhut. So Edwards will take a seat, and number 14, Kayla Paul, back into the game. Serban, the mid-range off the back of the rim, no good. Scramble for the loose ball, bodies on the floor, and the Yellow Jackets come away with it. And Scheibelhut took the blow there on the big collision right in front of the Polar Bear bench. And that is the 15th foul here on the Polar Bears. And the physicality has really stayed the same. These teams have been physical with each other defensively throughout the whole entire matchup. Again, they're fighting the whole way. You're starting to see the free throws begin to rack up a little bit here. It's beginning to pick up. The refs starting to blow the whistle a little more.
You know, Ohio Northern, they've had such a great quarter, but they have fouled a lot today. They've, you know, a lot of fouls, especially loose ball fouls. So it'll be interesting to see if that ends up haunting them like it did in that second quarter where that lead started to slip away a little bit.
So far, the Yellow Jackets, 10 of 14 from the free throw line, shooting 71%. Ohio Northern, they are shooting the better percentage here at the moment as that first free throw is up and good. That makes them 8 of 10 here at the moment. Waiting for the second free throw, and up and good once again. So 9 of 11 so far, shooting about a little over 80% now from the free throw line. They've been hot from the line as well. 40-38. BW with the lead. Here's Snyder, a nice move. Andrews a little wild, kicks it out to Scheibelhut. She's wide open off of the side of the rim. Lyon, a nice fight. And she goes up with it, draws the foul, and she's going to go to the free throw line. Well done by the 5'7" guard.
You know, 5'7" guard, not usually in the paint. You know, she's more known for being a wing player and shooting, extending the court. But, you know, that shows what type of team this Baldwin Wallace team is. Any player can go in the paint, isn't afraid to get a rebound and get fouled.
Both of those free throws by Lyon up and good. 42-38. We're down under a minute in the third quarter.
You know, Emily Lyon, she has a lot of depth to this team. You know, she's a junior. She comes off the bench, and she's a fantastic leader that comes off the bench. A lot of people think that leaders are usually in the starting lineup, but you know, Emily Lyon, she's a good leader that can come off the bench, can lead the young players when she's in there by herself with no other juniors.
After that offensive foul for the Polar Bears, several substitutions. Gabby Garrett, Lily Edwards back in for the Yellow Jackets. And another foul there. The fouls are really beginning to rack up here. And now sends Gabby Garrett to the free throw line. And Gabby Garrett, she has been solid from the line here this season, 44 of 54 at 81%.
No, it makes you think, you know, are the refs calling more fouls, or are they not as lenient as they were earlier, or just more fouls happening on the court? Now, usually, you know, we point fingers at the refs and, oh, they're calling more fouls. But it could be that, you know, these two teams are just being more aggressive than they were earlier.
Which is fair. I still think, you know, the bodies are bumping, but that's one of those things where, you know, they're getting physical. They're getting into each other. As you see it right there, Gabby Garrett gets the steal in the strip. Great play defensively, and then you have the foul afterwards. It's one of those things, though, where you start to see when the legs start to get a little bit tired, once you've played more into the game, you know, you start to see the feet beginning to not shuffle as quickly as they did at the beginning. The hands start swiping down. A lot of times that's where you do start to see the fouls, which is true, a very fair point as well.
You know, fatigue just doesn't, mess with your body, right? It's not just you get tired going down the court. It messes with you mentally. You can cause more errors and more fouls, more of lazier mistakes may happen when fatigued. So both these teams have to keep that in account as we go further into this game.
As much as athletics is a physical type of thing, regardless of the sport, there's always a mental aspect. And each sport is different when it comes to that. But
Sure.
There's definitely a mental aspect, and that can change what happens, what you do physically, or what you're thinking, and that tiredness if it's setting in. 2-second difference here between the shot clock and the game clock in the third quarter. Bryn Serban running the offense, driving, kicks it out to Brock. Brock dishes it down, needs to get it up, and it is good there by Kate Iliff. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Yellow Jackets ending the quarter with a 45-40 advantage. Again, you're listening and watching on bwyellowjackets.com. We'll take a break and be back with the fourth quarter action. And as we get this fourth quarter started here in OAC play, a reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's basketball game is being brought to you by Santos Italian Restaurant in Middleburg Heights, a family-owned and operated restaurant for 35 years. And American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. The Polar Bears start with the ball here in the fourth. The dish down to Iliff, and she draws the foul there on Lily Edwards. And Iliff, the junior forward, will step to the free throw line for two.
Iliff is one of the three-point leaders on this team with about 33% from the three-point range, which is a little bit under the average, but the average about 35%. But she's right there, good three-point shooter.
Iliff with those two free throws has now moved herself up to the leading scorer on the night so far for the Polar Bears with 11. Garrett driving through the teeth of the defense, and she was met there by Kristen Lorsman. A rebound there for Garrett, quickly in transition. Nice move to the right hand, the scoop can't get to go. Philpott with the follow. Just not a friendly roll, but she'll get to the free throw line for two.
We've been really solid about Philpott today. She hasn't done a lot scoring-wise, but especially she had a great week last weekend. She was phenomenal. I don't have the stats from just last week's contest, but she had a bunch of career highs in a bunch of different departments, and she can be the forward of the future here for Baldwin Wallace.
Philpott, the 6-foot freshman out of Stowe. Went to Stowe Monroe Falls, not able to get either of those free throws to go. So the score remains at 45-42. One minute played here in the fourth quarter in Berea. Here's the three for Iliff, and on point. The last offensive possession, you mentioned her three-point ability. There she is, knotting this one up at 45.
Now that's only her first three of the game. Her second attempt, but first make of the game.
Edwards out to Andrews. Andrews wide open, off the back of the rim. No good. A nice board by Philpott. Strong. And that one tipped around. She just couldn't get that to go. And here come the Polar Bears, an opportunity to take the lead. The drive and the scoop. A blocking foul there as Lexi Jacobs draws that foul.
You know, it's interesting when Philpott and Edwards are both in the game. You know, Coach Hare likes running a 4-out, 1-in offense. Allows you to space out your shooters, have a forward in the paint so you can still dominate in that realm. When you have 5 out, you know, you may not always have someone in the paint. But when Philpott and Edwards, you know, they're not three-point shooters. They're both mid-range to low block scores. So it really condenses their options, and it condenses the paint as well.
Jacobs gives the Polar Bears the lead, and the second free throw up, and that one rattles around and smacks the backboard and rattles around once again and goes in. A very nice roll for her, and a 2-point advantage there for the Polar Bears. 47-45, 8 minutes to go.
That ball was dancing on the rim.
And there you have it. Just when you need a basket, there you have it. Lily Edwards, she gets it done. And an opportunity for the and one.
Need a bucket? Just give the ball to Lily Edwards.
22 points, an opportunity for 23 here. Up and good. Once again, going back and forth. Yellow Jackets, 48-47. It's the drive and the pull-up. Jacobs off of the back of the rim. No good. Scheibelhut brings it up the floor. She passes this one off. Andrews streaking through the middle, and she to kick that one out, and ball swinging around. Finds Edwards. Turnaround, no good.
Yeah, she loves that mid-range shot. It's just not falling for her today.
Well, the danger is when you let her square up, she can either drive at you, or if you backed up because she can drive, she'll take that mid-range. The mid-range just hasn't been the strength today, but it is something she can usually knock down for sure.
And you know, she really worked on that too. Her freshman year, you know, wasn't a fantastic shooter, struggled mid-range, but now she even relies on that.
So we have a timeout here on the floor. Score 48-47. We'll be right back on BWYellowJackets.com.
So we have a score of 48-47 with about 7:18 left in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at Otterbein and JCU. JCU's winning in the fourth quarter, 74-50. Scheibelhut has the ball in the wing. Does a wing-to-wing pass to Andrews. Scheibelhut to Andrews, down to the post. And loses it out of bounds, but it will still be their ball. Ohio Northern slapped the ball out of her hands to retain possession for Baldwin Wallace. Tried to pass the ball in the middle, but Ohio Northern stole it away. Now they're running the ball up the court. Trying to get something going. Sherbin with the ball. Runs off a screen up the middle. And a bucket on the block by Kate Liff. Kate Liff, my bad. She's been solid tonight. She's 3 for 4 with 14 points. She's led them so far.
Yeah, and Kate Ilov with those 16 points. Getting it done. Snyder not able to get to go there.
Ohio Northern running in transition again. Jacobs trying to get the ball in the paint, cross court now. That is a traveling violation on Ohio Northern. Andrews goes to the corner to Gabby Garrett. She gets fouled into the corner.
Yeah, and that's one of those things we're starting to see, especially driving down the baseline. That's where a lot of those fouls have been happening there on the floor. Been pretty consistent. You know, the Polar Bears have done a good job, especially earlier in the game, getting in position. Now the Yellow Jackets really taking advantage of driving on the baseline.
And also a lot of walking violations on both teams. You know, there's a saying that you travel every time, and just when you get caught is Serbin. And another violation, I believe. Sloppy play on both teams so far, the last 2 possessions. In the midst of this fourth quarter, we have about 5:40 left on the clock. Andrews gives the ball to Snyder. Trying to work something here. Andrews, the Scheibel Hut up the middle, a fantastic pass to lead to a low block score.
And a nice find there and a great finish by Scheibel Hut. Now you mentioned the sloppy play. That's something both of these teams are going to have to clean up, especially down the stretch coming into the tournament for next week.
No Serbin with the missed shot. Baldwin Wallace in transition. Gabby Garrett in the corner. Good! Gabby Garrett with a corner 3 to extend the lead for Baldwin Wallace as we head into a timeout.
And a beautiful 3. Great bucket there by Gabby Garrett. Outstanding job by her, and a great job by her teammates to find her wide open.
Now it almost seems like there's been a role reversal with the 3-point shots. Ohio Northern was hot there for a minute, and Baldwin Wallace looks to be heating up finally from 3-point land.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. I mean, Gabby Garrett, she is a talented senior. She can get her buckets when she wants to. The thing earlier is she really didn't have any points starting off the game, but defensively she's been strong. She's been physical. Picked up, I know down here to the left of us, a very nice steal here not too long ago. But when she wants to get her bucket, she absolutely can. She showed that there.
Well, Serbin, she's offense has really ran through her today. Serbin again. Drives, contested, and misses the rim, but there's a foul on Baldwin Wallace. They called that on Lily Edwards, I believe.
Yeah, and Edwards not happy with that one there, but Edwards picking up her 3rd. Again, still a little bit of time, you know, not too long here in the game. Maybe not time for the coaching staff to think about taking Edwards out yet, but if she picks up another one, then they're kind of teetering on the brink of foul trouble for her.
I mean, 4 minutes left, you do have a big decision to make. Jacobs with the ball in the wing. To the corner. And that ball falls short on the rim. Lily Edwards takes the ball up. Couldn't find an outlet pass. To line. Gabby Garrett now. A beautiful cross-court pass. That cross-paint pass from block to corner. Again, we mentioned inside out earlier, and Lily Edwards done a fantastic job. She only has 1 assist, but her passing ability can't be looked unnoticed. And that will be a jump ball on the logo. Lily Edwards contested that pass and was able to get on the floor to cause a jump ball.
Yeah, and I can't think of a time that I've seen an Ohio Northern Baldwin Wallace matchup where there hasn't been physicality and bodies hitting the floor, diving after the loose ball. Both of these teams, again, right there at midcourt, just showing their desire to win this one. Still a close matchup, 53-49 in favor of the Yellow Jackets.
Andrews is bringing the ball up the court. Snyder on the wing. Look for Baldwin Wallace to slow the tempo down now. Drain the clock. They have no reason to rush. Andrews to Lyon, and another violation, traveling violation. It's been hurting both teams. It's not affected one team or the other specifically.
Yeah, and that's kind of a fundamental thing, as well as maybe a little bit antsy as well. Just got to put the ball down before you move those feet.
Ursprung. Dumped the ball off in the paint and couldn't get it in, and Lyon will be leading the ball up the court in transition. Snyder. Edwards now in that short corner, short wing. And a blocked shot. Lyon couldn't get the ball off. Ohio Northern put themselves in the right position. Another pass by Edwards to the corner to Snyder. And Snyder was not able to get that. Lily Edwards with the fantastic rebound and follow-up. It's her 15th rebound in the game, her 25th point. She's been phenomenal here tonight.
And the ball movement was excellent once again. And the hustle, and here's a hustle again for Snyder.
Andrews for three, good! Baldwin Wallace is catching fire, and Snyder to Andrews for the three. That gives Baldwin Wallace a 9-point advantage with 2:20 left on the clock. Ohio Northern has to answer if they want to stay in this game. Ursprung mid-range shot doesn't fall, and neither does the follow-up. Baldwin Wallace trying to get this game out of reach.
And I would expect if the Yellow Jackets aren't able to capitalize here on this offensive possession, expect a timeout from the coaching staff of Ohio Northern. Still an opportunity, still close here, even though the Yellow Jackets have a lot of momentum their way.
This is a rare hand-checking foul by Ohio Northern. It hasn't really been called today, the hand checks. But that sends Baldwin Wallace into the bonus. Andrews is a pretty consistent foul shot shooter, but couldn't drain that one. It's a 10-point lead. Ohio Northern looks in transition to get something going. They need a quick bucket. Hale. And the ball dances around the rim, but Ohio Northern is able to get the ball back out for Sherman for the three. Ohio Northern drains the three to bring the game within a 7-point lead.
That is a big shot there. 59-52, a minute and 17 seconds left. We'll take a quick break here on BWYellowJackets.com. back here on bwyellowjackets.com. Again, Cole McDaniel, Dominic Clary. Yellow Jackets quickly get the ball up the floor. A minute left. The question is, when will Ohio Northern start fouling? Or are they just going to try to play to get the steal here right now? Yellow Jackets just dribbling it out. Gabby Garrett to Snyder.
I mean, they're not really trapping either. It's under a minute. You'd think they'd...
Yeah, and I would think if, I know that wasn't an intentional foul, but I would think if you're going to foul on a defensive possession, you'd rather do it early, not when there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock and just swiping at it as Snyder's driving to the rim. But again, not much there. Just trying to play some defense and get a hand in, poke it away.
You know, they've hurt themselves by sending Baldwin Wallace in the bonus so early. I mean, they don't have any fouls to give, and you know, maybe that's the strategy was to hopefully force a turnover.
And you mentioned the foul trouble right now. Jaden Hale with 4, and Lexi Jacobs with 4 as well. Alyssa Staller with 4. Kristen Luersman with 4, and also Knippen with 4 too. And there's a miss on the other side for Ohio Northern. That one should pretty much ice this one away. 59-52 here at the moment. Just a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Four, down to Edwards, and up and in, and that is good. 6 seconds left in the game, 61-52. We'll see if the last shot will come for Jacobs. She does get it up in time, and it goes in. A nice buzzer beater there for her. That ends it, 61-54 in favor of your Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. And with that one wrapping up here, Ohio Northern falls to 4-7, and the Yellow Jackets improve to 8-3. Dom, what are your thoughts on that game?
I think that was a good game. A lot of fouls, some turnovers, but you'll get that. And it was a great game. Both teams fought, really physical. Teams played really great down the stretch. I mean, the second half was great, but I mean, we saw a battle of two heavy hitters, and at the end, Baldwin Wallace was able to run away with it.
And the last time we'll get to see the Yellow Jackets here at Ursprung Gymnasium until the tournament next week, because of course the final regular season game for them is tomorrow at Ohio Northern. What's something here that you think, one thing that they did really well that they can take into the tournament, and maybe one thing that could have been improved going into the tournament?
Defense. I've said it a bunch already, but their defense is really good. You can look at that as your strong point, your focal point even.
Right.
You know, your team can really build off this, and this can carry you through the tournament. On the other hand, you need other people to score other than Lily Edwards. And they can, too. That's the thing. They can score. They're 10, 12 deep. So look for them to try to build their shooters up early, build their depth up scoring-wise, and carry that out through the tournament.
As we finish up here, Lily Edwards, again, you mentioned the double-double. 27 points, 16 boards. Sydney Snyder had 11 herself. Kate Iliff with 16 for Ohio Northern, and Bryn Serban with 13. Again, that wraps it up here on bwyellowjackets.com. Your Yellow Jackets getting the victory over the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. And we will be back here on bwyellowjackets.com for the beginning of the tournament for your Yellow Jackets. Again, for Cole McDaniel, alongside me here, Dominic Clary, thank you again for tuning in. Have a great night and stay safe out there.